Good morning, guys. Well, today is Transformer Day. I'm going to be taking a load of copper in later on today, so might as well get these transformers done. Now, a lot of transformers, sometimes they'll have these came out of stereo receivers. So they've got the circuit boards on the sides. This one doesn't. These are just going to get in your way. So first thing I do is get rid of them. A couple taps with a hammer is usually all it takes. Alright, so now we've got the base plate and this band that goes around it. Now these are a little bit different. This band comes into a slot on the base plate and then folds up. So what I do is I take my chisel, and get that bent up enough to where I can get my hammer. And you want to hammer it down to where it's like that. Then take a chisel again. Separate this base plate. And the base plate will slide right over that tab. That whole assembly will come off. I threw that in my shred bucket. One thing I neglected to do, I won't show it because of YouTube standards, but you know, I sliced my hand a couple of days ago, so I want to keep that protected. I don't need another infection like I got when I stepped on that fencing. So, safety first, guys, always. I missed a finger. There we go. All right, so now after that, we've still got, you can see the copper. It comes around here, then it goes down behind this metal sheet here. So again, with the chisel, and those are just spot welded, so you just bust those welds and that'll come off. So now we've exposed this copper band here. And of course, when I go to camera, I get the hardest one there is. There we go. And it's just a matter of prying it loose. It's usually got lacquer surrounding it and stuff that's kind of holding it in place. loosen that up all the way around. And when they fight me like this one is, you always just cut it and pull it off. Now this is sheet copper. I've seen a lot of guys throw it in with their number 2, but this is actually, you know, a little bit lower than number 2. It goes in with your, you know, copper roofing and stuff like that, and then I just throw it in with my sheet copper. So now we've got the sides of the transformer exposed. Time for the grinder. So those of you with earbuds, bear with me for a minute. And you just cut the ends, you know, flush with the steel transformer in there, and cut one of the ends off, and then I'll throw this up into my vise. That plastic's gonna be a problem, so we make it no longer a problem. All right, then you get your punch. Usually the larger the better. You'll want it to take up as much of that space as you can. Otherwise it'll just go between the copper and it'll end up being a mess. So just pound it home. And then this my yard will take as number 1 prepared, even delaminated. I've heard it has something to do with the quality of the steel. It's a higher quality steel, but your yard may just take it as shred. So there's my copper core that I will deal with when I get all these done. Just add it up here to the pile. And move on to the next. Do one more here on camera. We'll do this one that doesn't have the circuit boards on it. Snip the wires. These go into my number 2 insulated wire bucket, and that'll be going in later today. They gave me a quote of $1 a pound on that. I've seen it better, but you know, at this point, I've got to get the cash flow coming in, so we will take what we can get. Now this one doesn't have the steel bands running around it, but it's spot welded on the bottom. So, and it's got this little lip here, so we need to get that pounded back. To where we can have access in here. Then you just pound down until you break them welds. As Ian would say, Bob's your uncle. All right, so now we're clean. We're ready to cut the copper off. We go. Now a lot of you might be asking, you know, why don't you just bust the welds here? These are not those type of transformers. These, you know, those, they have the E on the one side and the flat on the other, and you can bust that flat off. These are not. These are interlaced. So one layer has a flat on this side, the E on this side. The other one has the E on this side and the flat on this side. Unless you want to sit here and just delaminate the whole thing, this is the quicker way to do it. So we go to punch out the copper. And there we go, just that quick. Transformers don't take a lot of time to do, and it's good money for the copper. So that is, I've got 2 more to do here. These smaller ones I don't even mess with. I just throw them in with transformers. Actually, I'm going to start throwing them in with shred. The best transformer price I've gotten around here right now is 5 cents a pound. I'm getting 7, almost 8 cents a pound on shred. So that's kind of a no-brainer. So there we go. There's probably 5 or 6 pounds of copper sitting there. With those other two, will be 7 or 8 pounds of copper added to my trip today. And that's it. So thanks for watching. We will see you scrapping.